Hello, ni hao, bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, habari, mulishani, and wagwan. Welcome to Beyond Borders podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Dr. Charity Campbell Capella, known in the travel space as Doctora the Explorer, but mostly known as Dr. CK. Here at Beyond Borders, I share transformative travel experiences and cultural insights and help you see that cultural intelligence touches every part of our lives.
Hey, bridge builders. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to the Beyond Borders podcast. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Charity Campbell Capella, better known as Dr. CK. And today we're diving into something that can fundamentally transform your global interactions. And y'all know, if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time since I started my latest podcast, this one, you know that I really hone in on cultural intelligence or CQ. So I want you to imagine that split second when you're faced with a completely different way of doing things. You know, that moment that you have two choices, to judge or to get curious. And it's in that moment that the seeds of cultural intelligence are sown. And so today, I'm sharing 3 powerful ways to level up your CQ. So let's go beyond. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is embrace the power of observation. Before jumping to conclusions or making assumptions, take the time to watch and learn. When I first moved to China, I noticed so many different things, but one unique thing that stuck out to me really was seeing my colleagues always leaving work as a group. They were waiting for each other. And at first I was like, why don't you just go home by yourself? Go take the bus by yourself. You'll be fine. But the longer I observed, I realized that this practice built a sense of unity and mutual support. And it taught me that every culture has its own rhythm. It's a subtle art of cooperation that might seem unfamiliar at first, but it was just attractive after a while. You know, it was effective and attractive. And so I started doing it too. I started waiting for my colleagues and started asking my colleagues to wait for me. And I don't know, I think it just really positively impacted my experience there in terms of cooperation, collaboration, and unity. And so the next time you find yourself in a new environment, slow down, observe, and let the culture reveal its wisdom to you instead of being judgmental or thinking that things are like strange or weird, right? Now, the second thing is get comfortable with the uncomfortable. This is when you have to embrace the unknown. Cultural intelligence, it isn't built in your comfort zone, okay? It grows when things feel off or when traditions and practices challenge your expectations. I remember the first time that I was offered pig's feet. No, not pig's feet, excuse me. Pig's brain. Pig's feet is something that, we eat in the States. I actually don't, but still. I remember the first time I was offered pig's brain in China. And let me just tell you that the aroma and the texture, it messed with me so bad that I was gagging and I had to catch myself because I didn't want to be seen as disrespectful. But thankfully, the colleagues and the manager at the time that I was with, they really had mercy on me. They did laugh at me, but it was all in good, camaraderie or whatever. But still, I couldn't do it. But they did get one of my Canadian colleagues to do it, and he regretted it so much. So I was able to live through that experience with him doing it. Because listen, just because you want to be respectful of a culture, it doesn't mean that you have to put yourself in harm's way. I'm not saying that eating the pig's brain would have harmed me, but I do know that my colleague was sick. And so I found another way to be respectful while to respectfully decline the offer, you know? But still, I asked a lot of questions, learned about the dish, learned about the cultural roots of it, and really what it meant to them, and discovered that this dish celebrated history. It celebrated history and tradition rather than simply being a culinary oddity. So for me, it was a no. But man, being able to understand the importance of it, it, you know, it was an experience. So I want to encourage you to embrace every moment of discomfort as an opportunity to dive deeper, ask questions, and expand your cultural borders. Now, the third thing is to practice cultural humility. Okay? There's no such thing as normal when it comes to culture, only what's familiar to you and then what is new. Remember, your way isn't necessarily the right way. It's just one way among many. So whether it was the time that, I was told to try pigeon or the unforgettable birthday surprise involving chicken feet, I learned that meeting these challenges with humility opens you up to authentic learning. And so when you let go of the need to immediately understand or judge, you create space for meaningful dialogue and connection. It's this openness that allows you to see diversity not as a barrier, but as a bridge to richer, more nuanced experiences. Now, in addition to these three core practices, observation, embracing discomfort, and cultural humility, I do want to stress the importance of continuous curiosity. Cultural intelligence is not a destination, but a journey. I've said this quite a few times on this podcast show. Every new encounter, every interaction with a different cultural practice is a step along the right path. Now, over time, as you incorporate these habits into your daily life, you'll notice a shift in how you communicate, lead, and connect with people from all walks of life. So, here's my challenge for you today. Next time you face something unfamiliar, pause for a moment, observe carefully, lean into the discomfort, and ask yourself, what can I learn here? And always remember that every culture has its own logic and beauty waiting to be discovered if you're just open enough to receive it.
Listen, I want to thank you for listening to Beyond Borders podcast. I can't express my gratitude enough. It humbles me to know that you tune in every week to learn from me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Beyond Borders podcast. Download today's episode, rate, comment, and share so we can ignite a cultural revolution all across the globe. I also invite you to connect with me on YouTube, Pinterest, and my newest adventure, Substack. Let me know what kind of cultural insights and travel experiences you'd like to see more of. Also, if you have any questions or would like to be a guest on the show, please email me at charity@drtheexplorer.com and someone will respond in a timely manner. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, remember to keep your mind open and your suitcase ready. See you in the next episode as we go Beyond Borders.